All right. Hey, everyone. I just want to welcome you and start by introducing myself. I'm Shawna Martinez, and
I'm co-founder David Martinez, and the name of the today's pop-up party is Automate Your Tasks, Part One. And I'd like to first start off by introducing our team. John Paul, can you introduce yourself and share a little bit of what you do with MTZ?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is John Paul, and I've been with the NTZ team for a little over, I would say it's almost 2 years now. And I do a multitude of different tasks. Tasks are typically delegated to me, but one of the things I do is help institute automations for our MTZ brand and also for clients. So we implement systems where there are automated processes from anywhere from like email sequences down to websites and funnels and things like that. So yeah, those are a few of the things that I do.
Excellent. Yeah. Melissa, I'd like to introduce Melissa on our team. Maybe you want to share a little bit of what you do with
Yeah,
us.
yeah. I'm Melissa, and there's someone in the waiting room I'm gonna let in. And I'm a project manager for MTZ, so I help to set projects up, move projects along, and help support the team in executing on projects. And I also provide strategic support to help with any escalations, to help save, David and Shauna some time and, provide that extra layer there. So.
Great. And then Haley, would you like to share a little bit about what you do with us?
Yeah, I'm Haley. I'm a project manager also here with MTZ. I also do some client relations, so client-facing work and meeting with clients, correspondence with clients, all the things. So just supporting the team, managing projects, budget, and supporting the team with any of the tasks that they have going on, helping connect them and help collaborate. So that's kind of my role.
Excellent. So I see someone just joined us on our team. I'll say hello. If I'm pronouncing this correctly, Idris, is that correct?
Yeah, Idris.
Idris, very nice to
hey
meet you.
there.
Hi there. Thank you
Welcome.
for
Well, thank
coming.
you very much for having me.
Yeah,
Should I introduce myself?
sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, so my name is Idris. I am CTO and co-founder at DevNotes. We are service providers of AI-based web and mobile applications. And regarding my role, I am CTO. I manage the team. I manage the delivery from zero to 100%.
Yeah,
So how we work as an extended delivery partner for tech houses. We work B2B, and when some tech house face delivery spikes, workload spike, we come at their place and we deliver on their behalf.
very good.
Excellent. And what made you want to join today on this topic of automate your tasks?
So I just got the LinkedIn post by David, so that's why I am here. It was about some business consultancy and something like this.
Yeah.
And what do you hope to achieve? Like, are you looking to learn more about how to automate tasks
Yeah,
and
obviously, I'm looking to learn more about how to automate the task, and basically everywhere is automation, so I'm also interested into.
Yeah,
yeah.
great. Do you have a
Basically,
particular?
we also provide this service, but we are not like this automating the daily life task of founders, and so I'm very interested in this.
hmm Yeah, that's interesting because you mentioned you do software development, right?
Yeah,
And so yeah, there's like automations within that, but there's just different things that can be automated in different ways. So yeah, glad you're here.
Yeah. Do you have a particular question that you would like us to question or topic about automation that you'd like us to discuss? Or
no,
you-
I think nothing
Okay,
typical
Okay.
question. I'm just here.
sure. Yeah,
What
Thanks for sharing. Glad you're
fantastic.
here.
Okay, so we want to start
Yeah.
off by
Well, I would say that part of the reason why we chose this topic, automate your tasks, and this is part one. So there's so much to talk about. We said, you know what, we're gonna need to do at least two. And so today's part one, and then we'll likely do part two next week. And but we were when thinking about this, just conversations we've been having lately with other business owners, they've shared that they would like some things automated. And we were just thinking about how we've already done that with clients and even in our business. So we thought that would be a good thing to share. And I and actually there was one client in particular I thought we could kind of go into a story, sharing a story about one client. And for those of you, I actually posted her testimonial on we posted it on a couple of our social profiles, but for those of you that didn't see it, she's an interior designer and she came across us from one of our Facebook ads. We got on a call with her, a free strategy call, and she shared with us her challenges. And then we put together a package for her. Actually, she went through we did an assessment and roadmap, is how we started. That was like the first engagement we had with her. And we just looked at all of the current tools she had, because we do custom, we kind of customize services. So it's like we look at what are the tools you already have, and if you're not like fully utilizing them, what could we do? So because you're already paying for this tool, like let's like really use it the way it was intended. And so we put together like this whole plan to do that, and then added in a couple other softwares to help. And actually, I know Haley, she's been working on this particular project. So Haley, if you're comfortable, you like to share uh, kind of what we did with Kristen, our
Yeah,
client.
absolutely. So, like you mentioned, she needed automation. She was doing everything manually, and essentially her process being meeting with a client, then there's a contract that needs to be sent, then there's multiple site visits that need to be scheduled. Then there's the ordering of all the furniture or wallpaper, what have you, all the procurement. So she had a lot of moving parts within her entire life cycle of her clients. And so she was seeking support with, how do we, how do I get my hands out of every single piece of this, right? So we jumped in and were able to automate those things. So initially starting with the client intake, something as simple as having a space on her website that would send a client would fill out an inquiry form, then they would get sent a link to schedule a meeting. That really saves her a lot of time, that one piece alone, right? Instead of having to be on the phone with them or answering their emails or if they're in her physical space. So now she's able to offload that portion, which that alone, like I said, a lot of time saved. Then we were able to go in and continue to automate other pieces that are more internal in her workspace. So she has a few platforms she uses, and we were able to connect those platforms and automate specific functions. But I guess that's kind of a high level view. I guess,
Yep.
Shauna, where would you like me to go from here?
Yeah, that's perfect, Haley. Thank you. I think that I,
yeah, I
it,
want to
it,
just say, yeah, I want to add that that's great because it gives you like a bird's eye view as to how involved it is. And it's kind of broad in the beginning, but then it really kind of, as we start working down the details, the whole process begins to streamline together. Um, the sequence of it and the organizing like the communication and if I'm gonna just kind of talk about something very practical, when the client becomes more familiar with the automation process, we start speaking shorthand. like they understand what we're referring to. And something else that I've noticed is they have a software they're using, and maybe they're only using half of its potential. And they maybe discover that there's not another expense that needs to be, that that they already have some tools in place that they can utilize better.
Yeah. Or maybe those tools are not talking to each other and they don't know, the client doesn't know that there's integrations where these separate tools can kind of be talking to each other. And that was one of the things we did with Kristen as well. We added some Zapier integrations, and there's still more to do and to even automate further. And yeah, I mean, and this isn't specific to Kristen. We've done this with other clients where with some of the email
Marketing.
marketing where they had they even some of them they're actually really savvy on how all of it, they know about the automations,
Yeah.
and they know how to actually go into the software and set things up, but they're too busy sometimes and they just want someone who knows what they're doing and knows, that actually cares about their project and their business, and to help them out, even if it's just for a little while. Actually, I'm thinking, John Paul, I know you supported with, and I'm not sure if Haley, if you did. Remember our client Anita last summer? It was just like a short project. She needed to get something in place pretty quickly, and then she was like traveling, and I remember that's another testimonial I should share because yeah, I remember she was just like so delighted. And
Yeah.
actually, John Paul, do you recall, maybe that could be something you might share?
Yeah, you know, with it's hard to remember all the specific details of every client, but I will say with Anita, um, one of the bigger things that we did for her was set up a landing page for her and connect email automations to that landing page, as far as I recall. But the email part was a big piece of it. Having sequences for different offers and different opportunities, follow-ups, and that kind of thing. Just implementing all of that with copywriting and piecing it all together. Um, oh, and yeah, so as far as the emails go, those are triggered by different actions, and so there was multiple. I remember there were multiple automations um, within the software we're using for email, and yeah, it when it fits all together, it's kind of like a tree that just branches off and it functions as an entire system together. And it's just really amazing to watch it all come together at the end. But
Yeah.
that's a little of what I remember. It was a while ago, but I remember, like you said, Shawna, she was just so grateful for our help because so many founders have limited time, and that's one of the joys of hiring us on and using MTZ in our team is we help founders free up their time and complete those operational tasks that they're not able to do. So yeah.
Thank you, John Paul. Yeah, I think one of the things I remember from Anita is in addition to like setting up the automations, we also gave her a lot of visibility throughout the project. That was one of the things that stood out. She was just like so yeah, thankful, like we were providing like daily updates. And so depending on, the project, sometimes we send daily emails with the update. Here's what we did today, and here's what we need to do, and here's our questions. And sometimes we send those daily, sometimes it's weekly. And so yeah. And actually, Haley, I'm not sure if you touched on this, Haley, but I know now one of the things we're currently working on with Kristen is setting up her Go High level. And I don't know if you could expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So, to kind of give a big picture too for listeners and watching, anyone that's watching, um, we started out with our first iteration of automations that really improved her work life and again got her hands out of every single detail. And then she had some time to have those automations in place. And then she came back and said, I want another iteration. Let's do it again. So we're back again, helping and supporting her. And now we are working with a platform called Go High Level, as Shawna mentioned. And this is really becoming her new business hub. When we first engaged with work with Kristen, we were trying to just use the tools that she had and make the most of them as she wasn't using them to the fullest, like David mentioned earlier. And so we, really established some protocol for all of those platforms. And like I said, she was using it and loved it, but she's like, I was researching and I found there may be more we can do. So now we're transferring to Go High Level to act as one business hub for her business. And so this has been a really big project for our team. It's been a few months and we've been building new landing pages for her multiple offers. And each of those landing pages have their own sequences of email communication. There's some like digital guide components that are included in those emails. And really just making her client experience top notch and top tier and really speaking to the type of client she would have. And so we're really excited about that and being able to offer that for her.
Yeah, thank you. And I know we're with Kristen, ultimately we decided to go with Go High Level for her business. But with other clients, we've used ClickFunnels and Active Campaign. And so having those two softwares talking to each other. And that's actually what we've used in our business previously, kind of done a few different things at MTZ. But yeah, I guess I'm mentioning that because yeah, we're not just Go High Level, although we do have a Go High Level expert on our team. She's not here today with us, but and then I guess the other thing that you mentioned, Haley, is the digital guides. And that's something that we're supporting Kristen with developing, actually from scratch, I think, right? She wanted to have some digital guides that are available to clients. And that is something we actually have done at MTZ, where we created digital guides and created a funnel, a landing page, and then, where somebody goes to the landing page and then a digital guide is offered, and then they enter their email address, and then the email automation sends an email to them. And then there's like an email sequence where they, if there's like this logic, like if they open the email and if they click this button, then they're going to get this email. And then also, if they purchased a digital guide, then they get this other kind of email. So I just find that really, I just really enjoy that, all that logic and stuff. With my background in spreadsheets and a little bit of minor software background. Yeah, it's just like really interesting how just even with like email automations, there's like logic, there's, behind what triggers the different types of emails that go out. So yeah, and actually, speaking of digital guides, that's another reason why we decided to make today's topic automate your tasks, because we had created a guide It's in Automation Toolkit, and I can actually, for everyone that's on the call today, we're gonna upload if it's not already there, the PDF, so you can check that out on your own time. But some of the things that are in that guide are, there's a framework, and I'll just kind of briefly touch on some of the points in this automation toolkit guide. So number one is identify automation opportunities. And so it's like you would just start like auditing your current tasks and workflows and find out where automation will save you time and reduce manual work. And there are some in this guide, there's like it'll help you recognize like these high frequency, low impact tasks, and then you can, evaluate if they're ready for automation. So that would be like kind of step one. And then step two is you would select your automation tools. Maybe you already have some and you're not using them, but once you've identified these tasks to automate, then you can start selecting some of those tools based on your needs. And then you're going to want to develop an automation implementation plan. And so once you have the tools, then you're gonna start setting up workflows, and then if you have a team, you can train your team members on how to use these tools, and then of course you're gonna want to have some troubleshooting resources, because that's kind of like a natural thing that happens when you start using new tools. Sometimes it's kind of you're just going to run into issues, and especially if it's like a new tool to you, and your team, there's like going to be a learning curve, and it's just kind of like requires some patience, as you're getting things set up. But even like as it's it's already set up, little things happen here and there, I guess, almost like with a car. Like cars need maintenance, and so sometimes your tools might need maintenance. Sometimes there's things that glitch, but that's why it's always good to have like an expert around. And
like for example, John Paul, you want to speak to that? Sometimes we gotta look under the hood and check things out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that's a really good analogy because, we help our clients get their engine running, so to speak. So we help them start the engine, and then once it's running, there will be hiccups along the way. We'll have to troubleshoot those. For instance, when it comes to automations, just thinking about someone filling out a simple form on a website and that form triggering an email, and then also notifying the founder that they have a new inquiry or something. All of those components working together takes a little bit of ironing out sometimes. There are little glitches here and there. And that also goes for like building funnels, building landing pages, things like that. There's so many different components. You have a pop-up that has an offer on it, and maybe there are a couple different add-ons they could choose, and based on which add-ons they choose, they get different emails and that kind of thing. So the quality assurance of all of that and the testing is a big part of making the automation work.
Yeah, I want to share something else. So this maintenance that we offer, we support our clients with, is super important because the way I think about it, the way we think about it, is I think about the client's interest. Maybe they're in the middle of a launch, they're in the middle of a campaign, they're in the middle of a deal, they're in the middle of some middle of a project, and the communication is key. And if there's an issue with the messaging getting out, the emailing, that they have some support, and so that they're not just stranded on the side of the road, that we can come in and pick up some of the slack and help them get across the river during the moment of crisis, because essentially, that those things happen in business, and being prepared for those uh, is what's going to help you. Those things.
So true. Yeah, I guess let's see. I think that this maybe would be a good point just to share that you know, so at MTZ, that's our company, we do a lot of different things for clients, and it's very custom. And one of the things is helping to set up automations. And so we have a few spots open this quarter, and to do some strategy calls, some free strategy calls. It's a 30-minute strategy call. And so I just wanted to invite anyone that's on the call on this call today, or who's watching the replay. We'd love to, it might be helpful for you to hop on a strategy call, and we can talk about things like where you might want to automate some things in your business, and other things too, related to business. But I mean, really, there's like a time savings. Automating routine tasks lets you focus on, other strategic initiatives, and then just an increased efficiency. It speeds up workflows, makes processes smoother and more consistent.
Yeah.
And do you want to add something?
Yeah, and you don't have to be tech savvy or advanced. You can view this. This is a free 30-minute strategy call. View it like a focused brainstorming session, and you have this idea that can get out, and we can explore that idea, and see how to organize that, and what would be required to put that idea into action, to take it from the dream into action, and make it a reality for you. So that's something that we like to do on the strategy call. Yeah.
That's a really great point, actually. Like our clients, some of them are very experienced in things like automations and softwares, and but some of them aren't. And I think that's kind of like, we just really enjoy letting the client like do what they're great at, and then just creating ease for them, taking things off their plate where they're able to just like focus on the things that they're great at. Like back to the example of our client, Kristen, she's an interior designer, and design is what she loves to do. She doesn't love, the going into maybe a tool like Go High Level and setting up email automations, or things like that. And so yeah, I think that that's actually something I know you're really great at describing when we're on the strategy calls with the clients.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine it like you're on a call with a team of experts, and there's a canvas, and we got a pencil, and we're just sketching out this idea for you. And then the first thing we try to figure out is like, or get you to start thinking about, is automate wherever it's possible. Maybe you're going to discover areas that you didn't think or you could automate, repeatable tasks, and then there's also like sort of a mind shift. You have to start thinking like like an owner who automates. Start thinking about, okay, you get a new task, or you have, certain tasks that you do daily. What can actually be automated? What you know what how can I hand this off to either a person, delegate it? That's one way of automating, or to something automated like to a software. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
actually, I can come describe it. We were on a strategy call recently with a lovely woman, and she already had a tool, the tool Calendly, and uh, and she was like looking to see like where she might create a lift. She's kind of like has a lot going on, and it's just kind of starting to pile up, and so we were talking about how sometimes depending on like what business you're in, if you're having like one-on-one calls or group calls, maybe you might set yourself a reminder to send reminders to the people that you're going to have a call with. So an example, so
Yeah.
we're like, oh, well, did you know that Calendly, depending on which version of Calendly you have, it actually can automatically send email reminders and text reminders to anyone that you had, scheduled a call or a meeting with using your Calendly software. And so some of these tools, they already have these really cool automations built in. And like with Calendly, it was just a matter of like knowing where to go in there inside Calendly and like switch something on. And then also it's cool in Calendly, you can also like customize something. So like maybe the default template says reminder, and what you could do is maybe you want to add in friendly reminder to customize some things like that. So yeah, that was just so calendar management is definitely one of those things that could be a easy thing to automate depending on what tools you have, and that is something that
Yeah.
oh, go
I
ahead.
just want to, this is what I hear a lot from clients, the calendar management. I mean, just think, considering all the communication that's involved in business, the various email accounts, messages that you're getting, different appointments, scheduling. So that's a lot to juggle. And to be able to just begin there, let's just say like, okay, let's begin by automating your calendar. Let's organize that. And I mean, how much time, if you're doing it all manually, how much time would you save a week by automating, your calendar?
Yeah. And actually, it just reminded me another area for besides calendar management or scheduling is like product management or project management.
Yeah.
If you have a project management software like maybe like Monday.com or something like that, it's great. You can like log in items and select different statuses and keep track of them. But there's also automations inside there. They're really cool. And actually, maybe Melissa, if you want to share some of the cool automations that you've set up or experienced using Monday. And then also, I know we use Jira for one of our other clients. I think there's some cool automations there too, like with, you send an email and then it does this other thing. So if you can share a couple examples.
Yeah, I was so excited when I started working with you guys and you use Monday and I learned there's automations involved with the project management tool. It's so cool because you can set it up in a way to, say as soon as an item is created, it sets the status to this, like in progress. And then as soon as it's ready for review, it alerts this person or it moves to this group, or there's honestly so many different automations you can do. Or, we even have, you can set it up in a way when it's somebody's birthday and it can then, it sets up an automation to alert us that it's someone's birthday, wish them a happy birthday. Like there's so many different things that you can do, and it just helps to save you that time that you don't have to go manually do that yourself. And then with the Jira, it's a tech ticket system. And so if one of our tech people has a tech request from one of our clients, they just have to submit an email and it automatically sends the tech ticket to their Jira board. And then they can, then it starts on the pipeline there. So yeah, very cool, very helpful, saves lots of time.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that,
Thank you.
Melissa. And also I'd like to add, you don't necessarily need a project management software tool like Monday.com or Jira or Asana, or there's a bunch now. Even like in Google Sheets, I've set up automations like, it's kind of like if somebody enters something in this one field, you can get an alert or a notification or email sent to you. So that is, if you just have Google Sheets or that's where, in a real you don't have to pay for this, big project management software. But I did want to, it looks like we have Mare, did you join? And if you're there, if
Mare.
you'd like to
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
say a few words. Hey there.
Hey, Mayor.
Hey, yeah, I'm glad you moved this so I could have a chance. I just have like this teeny weeny little bit of time, but I'm really excited to be here today and to listen. My business isn't big enough for all these things you're talking about yet, but it's going there. And so I just kind of want to be in the conversations to hear what to be paying attention for, like
Yeah.
what are the tipping points that you begin to make these choices and decisions. So I'm really here listening.
That's great. First thing I'd like to share with you is that if you're a solopreneur, automation can really help you, even if it's just getting, like I just talked about earlier, like starting with maybe like your calendar or automating your calendar, because as a solopreneur, you don't have to have a big company. You still have like all these emails and messages that you need to organize and streamline, and that in and of itself. Just imagine automation like a pizza, right? And there's just like different slices, and maybe you're not ready for all the slices, but hey, there's 2 or 3 slices here that I can kind of automate, and it saves me 3 hours of my time weekly. Let's just say I'm not doing that, and also things that don't slip through the cracks, like it's very easy to miss a message, or there's different settings and reminders to the reminders, right? To keep the communication consistent.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, and we we help solopreneurs, from solopreneurs all the way to large corporations, and that's why I like to give different types of examples. Like, we talked about a project management software, but then also like Google Sheets, or maybe even if you don't have Calendly, there's like some really cool things you can do within Google Calendar if you're just using Google Calendar. I mean, maybe this might be like common knowledge, but something that I like to do if I send out a calendar invite from Google Calendar, there's like little notifications you can add in. You can add in like, maybe the default usually with Google Calendar is like add a notification 10 minutes prior to the event. But there's also, you can have it send an email. And you can add more than one notification. So sometimes I'll do like, have a notification 1 hour before the event. send an email 24 hours before the event. So even just with Google Calendar, which is free for a lot of people, that's, and so that's for like calendar management, some of those little automations that are already built into Google.
Yeah.
And then, and then like Google spreadsheets and Google Docs. I mean, that's what we started out with
Yeah.
is just really using Google, and then of course like some of the Microsoft tools. And so I actually really geek out on like what can I find, like and learning like these little tricks and potential like things to automate with the tools that we already have or that clients already have.
Does anyone?
That's the thing, is that we don't want to be like, you need this tool. It's
Right.
like, what do you have, and how can we like really maximize, the usage, I guess.
Yeah, anyone else on our team want to share some thoughts on that?
Yeah, actually, I think Haley, because that's one thing about Haley. So I know she has Google Suite, right? G Suite.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was one of the things I noticed when we were first talking, is that you didn't have Calendly, you had like Google Suite, but it was like you had like a form built in. If you could share about that, maybe.
Yeah, I use Google as well. And so, depending on what kind of clients I'm serving and, what they're interested in, I have different calendars that they can book with. So each of them are, specially formulated for each client. So there's different things that I request within the form. And then some of them are paid. So there's a paywall before they can even schedule. And then again, with the reminders, I have different reminders that go out as well. So yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of Google. And I definitely use it to its fullest, that's for sure.
Yeah, because I remember you were like, you didn't want to have all these other tools. You're like, I'm gonna like really learn what is available within the tools I already have. I just thought that was so great.
Yeah, I have a lot of entrepreneurial friends and they're always, talking about the new software they use, which is great, and all of them have their own, niche business. And I love learning from them about what they're using. But yeah, for me, I was like, well, the work I do, I can keep it pretty consolidated and I've been able to, run my business really well. So it's been great.
Yeah. Thank you, Haley. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mary, Mary, are there any like existing tools that you have that you're like, oh, like I wish it could do this, or that it does it, um, but you haven't implemented it? Anything like come to
Yeah,
mind?
that's a great question. Technology is really not my um, strength. I love technology. Technology loves me, but I usually get help, right?
Yeah.
Part of it's my generation, right? Like I'm in the high 60s, and so that wasn't in my generation. I mean, it is now, and I am using a lot of stuff, but there is a disconnect there. So when I'm part of what I love about when you guys are in Stacyverse, um, there's an authenticity to which that's what's attractive to me, is that I believe you. I think that you are offering hope to business people that might not, who might be overwhelmed in the I want to say the logistics of business. Maybe not their. I mean, I'm not. I can dream lift all day long. Like that's like not a problem. But the logistics of all of those pieces, that's part of what, when you're in the Stacyverse meetings, I'm like, oh, I read energy. So what I'm aware of is that the two of you together, there's a magic in what you have to offer the world. That's what I'm attracted to. That's why I want to listen. And I don't know what I don't know, right? Like, so I don't know the questions and stuff. As I'm listening today, a piece of what I was like, ooh, do you have like a beginner sheet? You know, like where are you in your business? You know, like if you're brand new, you know, these are the three questions you should be asking yourself, you know. And then if you're a year in or whatever, or a certain dollar amount in, like what are the next set of questions? Like to me, that would be helpful to know when do I plug into uh, uh, asking you for help, you know, like at what level, at, you know, like what are the tipping points, what are the questions I should be asking? Like I'm really, and I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
All I am aware of is that I already trust the two of you because you're in Stacyverse.
Thank you. Very kind words.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing all that. Really quick, I just want to say that, you know, I am really tech savvy and I have a lot of experience, but it's still hard sometimes. Like, that's why we're kind of earlier, and this might have been before you jumped on, we are talking about like troubleshooting and being patient and like there's even with us when we have experts on our team, and we have like a quality assurance, quality control steps built into what we do. There's just things that just happen, and then you just need to like troubleshoot. It's just you just you know, and then I think that's part of it. It's just like you're like, I'm gonna just whatever comes up, I'm just gonna figure it out. And
Mhm.
so yeah, and I think that so I would, you know, like just be aware that it's not just you or your generation, like it happens to all of us, I think.
Yeah.
Say
Yeah, I
that.
just want to share with you, Mayor, that it starts when you want it to start. It's really like there is no like level. You don't have to be at this high level multi conglomerate, you know. No, like, you know, we've throughout the 12 years, we've helped the entire spectrum of clients. You know, so many people just they have an idea. I remember I got a call this one time early on, and there was this person. She had an idea for organizing. What's that website for acting? IMDb. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
IMDb.
And there was some data or some analytics that she wanted to organize, and she wanted to create like this database for like royalty collections, some kind of a royalty collection for people in movies, something something related to that. I don't remember all the details, but she didn't know how to do it. And there was at that time, maybe there's a platform now, and that this is like 10 years ago, but at the time there was no platform, no way to check that. So she calls me up and she's like, "Hey, check this out. I got this idea." I'm like, "I'm all ears. Let's bring out the canvas. Well, let me get my number two pencil and let's just start sketching what we have going on." And then, you know, we take it from some people have a very clear, vivid vision. Some people are not sure. They're just kind of they're testing out ideas. And then that's where we come in. We help you organize those ideas. You know, we how to implement that idea, put that into action. For example, you know, we have different clients that so many different, like all this like specialized knowledge, but the back end support, the technology is not their wheelhouse, and it's not so, you know, it's not supposed to be in some cases. Some people are like they're, you know, multifaceted and they're tech savvy and they also know how to do these other things, right? So what I'm saying to you is that it's okay to you know not know what you know yet. I think the great thing is the best part of it is curiosity to figure out, hey, what you don't know. For all you know, you're like, oh, you know, I have Google and like calendar and like, wait a minute, what can you know, and I'll give you something. I use this example so much, Mayor, a lot of times. You know, we have a team, and obviously our team is they're very advanced in different areas of technology. but I like to use like the analogy, like the metaphor of like a Lego piece, the toy.
Mhm.
Like we build out Lego sets. Your idea, it's like a Lego piece, and then okay, let's add on. What's this idea? And then we organize it. We start to build out this idea. It's three, four, five, six, seven pieces or something, and we customize what is your dream, and we build it out in this Lego set. And then we okay, and so this is what step one is, and then till the client is clear. That's why we have like these strategy calls, these clarity calls to just to get let's where is first base?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why like a lot what we do, it's custom. Like, it's if it's a solopreneur and the existing tools they have and they just want to use what they have, fully utilize what they have, or maybe even a solopreneur is interested in something a little more sophisticated, or and to create a bigger lift in their business, or also like large corporations
Yeah.
that need other types of services. And so that's why we like to do these, get on a call and just talk about what their needs are, and come up with something customized, and even like when we do our calls, there's no obligation. We just like to get on the call, learn about them, learn about their business, and learn what they want to
Yeah.
do, and then we send a summary of the call, with some recommendations for next steps, and if they're interested, if it's helpful to them, we provide a couple of options how they might work with us in the future. And so that's what we do on the strategy calls.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, these are like free strategy calls, and they're a focused brainstorming session. And if there's one thing I like, it's a brainstorming session.
Yeah.
Like I absolutely love those. I love the energy. I like the ideas that are born in on those calls. I see a lot of sparks, you know. And if I'm not mistaken, Mayor, you're involved in a few programs, and you're involved in a like, is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that because we are too, and we're aware of how the challenge of managing, that the communication, there's a lot involved. So, I would say just you as being a solopreneur, I would have to guess that your plate is full in just managing that.
Or you mean like
Yeah,
being in programs? I mean, this is what
yeah,
I'm thinking, and because this happens to me.
yeah.
I'm in like, I don't know, maybe right now I'm in like four different programs, and there's like, they're wonderful programs, but yeah, there's like, and they have these like really awesome frameworks and resources, and really like keeping track of, keeping them all organized, of
Mhm.
like, okay. And so I actually, in one of my project management softwares, I have a place where I'm like, okay, here's this one, and here are the links to the resources and frameworks for that. And then really it's like, you want to keep track and keep all that organized so you can actually implement all the things that are included in these wonderful programs, right? I mean, there's it's one thing to be part of a program, but then I mean, maybe you chose to be a part of it because you want to implement
And
like
that, and
what
that
the
also
promise is,
and that also
you
requires
get the result that they promise, right?
and that also requires like some support too. Like our team here, they also help support us internally and with some of these
Yeah, they definitely are helping us to implement. When I share, I don't always share everything because there's just so much information coming through. It's almost like I can't share it fast enough with them, and that's where I need to get better. I'm always improving on delegating and things like that. And Yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, like all that requires, for it to be successful, there's a system. That's my experience. You reach a point where, you're one person and you can only do so much manually. And now you have to start thinking about how to work exponentially.
Yeah, and I'll add, even if you want to stay one person,
You can.
I create systems for myself. Like there's some repeatable tasks that I know that I only want to do, but I will sit there and create a system for myself so that every time I'm gonna go sit down and do that thing again, I don't have to fully recall and like reinvent the wheel on how it needs to be done. And so I will like just write a little checklist for myself of like, the most efficient way that I've found to do it. So that's, just something, and that's something we can help people too. Like maybe you just want to know how to do things more efficiently yourself, and we can help you come up with a little system. It doesn't have to be big, you
Yeah.
know.
So I'm aware of the time, and I'm literally going to be dream lifting Stacy's team
Yeah.
in 3 minutes.
Yeah, we have a call
Um,
actually too.
but I want to throw out that maybe we do a My People party together, where we take an entrepreneur and go through and do the brainstorming where other
Oh
people
yeah.
can come in and see it. Because I think that, that would even have helped me, like, oh, I don't know why I'm so attracted to them, but there's something they've got that we need in Stacyverse at other levels. So anyway, that's what I'm going to throw out there, and maybe we could have
Okay, yeah,
another
we'll follow up with
conversation
you.
Yeah.
and think about
Yeah.
how
I like it.
what that could look like.
Yeah. Sounds good. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
that. Thanks, Mary. Thanks for
Nice
coming.
meeting you
We'll
all.
see you around.
Bye.
Bye now.
All right. Okay, well, I know we have a few minutes left, and yeah, I'm glad we talked about all of this, and I know we're going to be talking about automation, automate your task part 2 the next session, and excited about that, and yeah, if anything jumps out at you, you have any questions, feel free to send us a message, or let us know if there's anything in particular or anything specific you'd like to learn more about
Yeah,
regarding automation.
Yeah, we can schedule a free strategy call and go from there.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
See you next time.